friends, we are starting a new series here on my channel called 5-Minute Magic. Eventually we'll have a fun theme song for it, but in essence, this is magical spells or rituals that you can do with things that you already have in 5 minutes or less. And today I'm going to walk you through how to make an anti-anxiety spell jar. I love spell jars because they are great to really get focused in on your intention. You can place them anywhere in your home or you can take them with you. You can keep them in your bag, your purse, your car, on your altar. And anytime you want to connect with that intention again, you can just give it a little shake. Or sometimes I like to use mine as like a little I Spy game. So if you remember those books from the library days of your youth, where you look in and you kind of see all the different elements in there, you can do that with your spell jar. A lot of times people think that these look really fun, really witchy, but also really complicated. And so I'm going to break down how you can simplify it. And again, use what you have. First things first, you're going to need a jar. This is a jar that I got on Amazon in like a big pack of different sizes, but you don't have to use one of these. You could use an old spice jar. You could use an empty medicine bottle. You could even use a Ziploc baggie if you wanted to. Honestly, it does not matter. It could be metal, plastic, ceramic, glass. It does not make a difference. As long as it can be sealed, has a top on it, or some other way to seal it, you're golden. You're going to want something that you can cleanse that jar with. So I'm going to show with incense when I walk you through the tutorial, but know that you can also use just plain water, running water through it. Make sure that it dries completely before you move on to the next steps. Otherwise, you're going to get a moldy spice jar, and we don't want that spice jar, a moldy spell jar. We also don't want a moldy spice jar though, so make sure it dries out completely. Or you could simply scream into the jar. That's a great way to cleanse it as well. I think I showed that in my money bowl videos. And then some ingredients. Now, I have a whole kit. These are mostly mini crystals that you can play with, but you can also go through your spice jar, grab herbs, grab teas, break open your tea bags. If you want to go out into nature and grab things like grass or dirt or salt or sand, right? Like you can really get creative with this. And I'll give you some ideas around different things that you can find around you or in your home for this particular anti-anxiety spell jar. Now, is this spell jar going to completely eliminate your anxiety? Of course not. But what it can do is helps you really tap into your intention around feeling more in control of your anxious thoughts, or feeling calmer, or feeling more peaceful, or relaxing your body, or whatever intention you add to it, which then can help you feel more in control of your anxiety. Of course, if you take anxiety medication, you work with a therapist, continue to do those things and just add this in addition. Let's make our spell jar. First things first, you want to get really clear on your intention. A lot of people think this is more complicated than it needs to. I like to do this as an in and out list. So in is the energy that you want to call in. So for an anti-anxiety spell jar, that might be focus or clarity or calm or relaxation or a quiet mind or restful sleep, whatever you want to call in. And then out is whatever you want to release. So worry, fear, rumination, endless to-do lists, whatever it is. So make your list first and have that in front of you so that you can pick ingredients for your spell jar based on what you're calling in. And when we're cleansing, we're focusing on what we're calling out. Take your jar, uncap it. We are going to do a little cleanserooski of this. Something fun you can do with your lighter is you can put a cleansing sigil on it. So that just amps up the cleansing properties of it. It's the worst fucking lighter I've ever used. So I like to use incense for this because it's really fun to see the smoke collect in the jar. But you essentially just want to put a little smoke in it, around it, and then any ingredients we're going to use, we're also going to throw the smoke over it. So I just like to do kind of the whole workspace. Again, lots of options for how you can cleanse. This is just the one that we're going to do. While you're doing that cleansing, focus on that out list. What are you letting go of? What are you releasing? What are you sending out with that flame or with that smoke? And now when we're pulling ingredients, focus on the in list. Say I had mental clarity. Okay, I'm going to look at the crystals, the herbs, the spices, the teas that I have, and which ones connect with mental clarity. Peppermint, spearmint, fennel, lavender, lemon, any of those will be great. For crystals, fluorite, sodalite, amethyst, selenite, all great options. So just see what we got in here. Again, I have a big array of things. You do not need a big array of things to make this work. I am looking for fluorite because that is my favorite for mental clarity. And I also know that I have one in here. Fluorite. Got it. I'm going to grab a couple of pieces. And while I am putting them in the jar, I'm going to hold that intention. Mental clarity, mental clarity, mental clarity. You can put as many or as few as you want in there. Now, what I like to do for herbs is just create a blend of them. So this is a blend of a couple of different herbs that are great for mental clarity. Something that can be really helpful is a cute little funnel and a cute little spoon. And then you can just make a big old mess, and that's half the fun. Okay, the funnel. You don't have to fill these up all the way. I mean, you can if you want to. The other thing that I might want to call in is relaxation. So good herbs for that are chamomile, rose, lavender. I am gonna look for some crystals. I know I saw amethyst in there, which is a great option for relaxation. Again, I'm gonna hold whatever ingredient is, and I'm gonna hold that intention while I pour it in. So relaxation, relaxation, relaxation. I like to just repeat it to myself. You can just think it. And then sometimes I'll just kind of go back and forth between the herbs and the crystals. If you are missing an herb for an intention, like say you don't have any of the clarity herbs that I mentioned, rosemary is a really good kind of like Uno wild card for any intention. If you're missing any kind of crystal, clear quartz is a really good one for pretty much any intention. Aha! So you can use a quartz point or quartz tumbles, whatever you have. So I might hold this and think grounding or amplifying my confidence so that I'm less anxious in crowds, or protecting my energy, or whatever the case may be, right? Whatever you feel like you need to feel less anxious. Other things that you can do is you can grab things from the outside, especially when it comes to anti-anxiety. One of the things that we can do that can be really beneficial for anxiety is grounding. So bringing the energy and the awareness out of the head, all out of those anxious thoughts, and down into the body, right? When we're grounded in the body, then our brain is less likely to think we're being chased by a tiger. And so we become less anxious. So things that remind you of the earth or bring you back down. So I have some mini seashells here. I'm gonna pour some of those in with the intention of grounding. Maybe this is a little bit of dirt. Maybe it's a crumpled up leaf. Maybe it's some sand, whatever. Once you're done, you're gonna go ahead and pop the lid on. And this is my personal favorite part, the messiest part. You're gonna choose a candle, okay? This could be a birthday candle. This could be any candle that you have, really. I often will just take these kind of chime candles, which are like birthday candles for giants, but you can take regular birthday candles. For anti-anxiety, good color of candle is blue. Great for that calm, that relaxation, especially of the mind. If you don't have blue, white is your Uno wild card here. So we are going to light it up. This always reminds me of like when I was in high school and would just light things on fire for fun. But you're just gonna let it drip. I usually hold it at like an angle, and I try to go around the edges. That way it seals it with wax. This is what makes it look really witchy. It's really not like super important to seal it unless it's a spell that you really want to be contained. I just don't want it to bust open in my purse. So I'm just gonna seal it enough that the top won't come off. You could also alternatively adhere the candle. Like I could stick the candle now in the top and let it just burn all the way down. I'm going to use this candle again, so I'm not going to do that. See how it's dripping down the sides? So witchy. That's what we want. That's what we want. Yeah. And while I'm doing this, I'm just thinking about, again, that out list, what I'm letting go of, and that in list, what this is representing to me. I might continue to smoke cleanse everything while that burns out. Isn't that a cute little anti-anxiety spill jar? Isn't it the cutest little thing you've ever seen? It's so cute. You can do this with anything in your house. You could, if you have a stress relief tea, just rip that bag open, toss it in there, throw some dirt on top. Boom. You have an anti-anxiety spell jar. And then again, anytime you want to reconnect with that intention, you can pick it up, shake it. You can keep it on your desk, keep it in your purse, wherever you tend to experience anxiety is where I would recommend keeping it. If you want to see more spell jar tutorials, let me know what intention you want to bottle up in the comments and subscribe for more.